welcome to the Sisters Empowerment Show. We are excited to be here today to yet empower you again in another area of your lives that is very important. I know some of you are out there wondering which area that is. So the area we are going to speak about today is dating. Some of you are out there, you don't know whether you're dating, you're gambling with dating, you have dated, or you're just there wondering what you're doing. So from our discussion today, you're going to discover whether you're doing the right thing while dating and where this dating is going to lead you to. So with me, as usual, are my sisters. That is the usual suspect, Lillian. Lillian, you're welcome to the Sisters Empowerment Show.
Thank you, Daisy.
I love that color of your blouse.
Thank you.
You're looking great.
Thank you. You're so smart.
On my right side is my young sister, Stella. Stella, you're very welcome to the Sisters Empowerment Show.
Thank you, Daisy.
I know our viewers have seen you before, watched you with us here. Although you're not our usual suspect, but you co-host with us some of these topics. And you're going to benefit the audience out there viewing. So don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. And this show is proudly sponsored by St. Daniela Education Services. This is a nursery and boarding primary school situated in Namayumba. So if you think you want your child to get this very good informal education coupled with some of these ideas we are giving you, please bring your child to St. Daniela Education Services. So these attires you see us dressed in are sponsored or courtesy of Save and Have Enterprises, and this is a one-stop center for children and adult clothes and accessories. So if you really want something that is beautiful to dress up like the way we are, we know we are smart. Ladies, aren't we smart?
We are. Thank you.
Yes. So come to our shop at level 2, shop number D 417. And in case you are in doubt of where we are located, please call us on our numbers which are down on your screens. Without wasting a lot of time, we shall go straight to our topic. My dear sisters,
Yes, Daisy.
I know each of us must have dated in life. All we are dating. But there are people out there who we want to give tips, who we want to advise on what should be done while dating, such that when they get to this stage of life of dating, they know what to do. It well. You know, it's not about doing it, but doing it with a purpose and benefiting from it. So without wastage of time, I want one of you to tell our viewers, what is this dating that we are talking about? Or what is it that people think about when they talk about dating?
Thank you, Daisy, for hosting me, and I'm really grateful to be here today. About dating is you go out there and meet other people. You go out, meet other people, but usually it's for a specific purpose, and usually it could be with an aim of having a successful relationship. It could end up in marriage or not. Yeah, that's dating for you.
Yes.
Lillian, do you have anything to add on to that?
It is similar, not really go. There is nothing really much different from what Stella has said. Of course, when we grow up, and I think for Uganda's case, of course, dating begins. There are some people that are really so fast, right in school, secondary school. I'll not talk about the primary school, they are still too young, too little, when we are teenagers. But of course, when we have to look at the Ugandan standards of an adult who is considered to be 18 years and above, we look at when we look at the future, where we want to be, like you want to get into a committed relationship for marriage. It is very important that we go through what we call dating. What Stella mentioned of meeting someone or some people, because at times you will not start with only one person. You meet many people for a given purpose. that is commitment on a regular basis. Of course, this I'm not saying you meet more than more than one, but time comes when you have identified that one specific person that you'll have to meet with on a regular basis, depending on the time you have. It shouldn't be forceful, you know, freely. Of course, you're trying to create the friendship with the person that you're meeting. As you learn them, their character.
Can it be arranged, or what is the format? How do you get to meet these people to actually now zero down on that one person that you think would be the right person to date, continue with the date?
Different people meet differently. There are those that have arranged maybe friendships or marriages, or you know, but these days things it is a free way of doing things because of the environment. It can be school, you meet someone at a social gathering, you meet wherever. But when you tend to follow up with someone and then maybe you decide now this one, you know, with those outings, definitely with a phone call you realize, with a phone call or whatever frequency you're able to meet, that's when you can now, if you identify that there is I'm a Mary and there is a John, once in a while, or depending, we have to go out there. Going out there doesn't mean that you're going to just sit, you know. You're going to learn one another, you understand each other, you get to know about each other's background, education, what are your interests. Yeah, there are a number of things that you look at when you meet. And of course, the purpose should be, like Stella mentioned, should be for a commitment, marriage, of course. But it doesn't mean that whichever person you meet, it will definitely work out to the goal that you want to realize.
On top of what Lilian has said, dating really has very many ways. So we can go out there, like maybe during parties, we meet people, professional gatherings, you meet someone and you become friends. However, with this technology and all that, we can do online dating whereby you can meet a variety of people. For example, there are very many free dating sites that some people have started engaging, and they're meeting people. So dating has very many ways. It could be virtual, it could be physical, as long as you go out there and your aim is to meet someone for a successful relationship.
Okay, you talked about the virtual and the physical. I remembered someone who told me, of course, like before the virtual thing came in, but through telephone calls, like someone keeps calling, and you're talking and trying to exchange those words, but you really don't know each other. Yeah. So is that also dating?
Yes, it is. As long as you're meeting someone, could be virtual through communication, it could be through phone
We used to use letters.
Yes, way back.
Anyway,
Letters.
we've moved away from that. Now, I want to ask you guys. It's a little personal. Have you dated before?
Definitely, many times, personally. I've dated many times.
Yes, I have dated as well.
Yes. So what we are going to tell you, even me too, in as much as I'm married, I dated, that we are going to share with you through this program. But the intention of this is actually to teach you what should you look out for, especially parents out there who have children, who have reached that age of dating, even the other viewers out there who are actually watching but are still undergoing this process. So what we are going to tell you, of course, is going to be based on our experiences as we dated to get to our final destination. Some of us have reached our destinations. Others are still on their way to the destinations, yeah. So guys, what is the purpose of dating?
Of course, like you mentioned, the purpose of dating, why it is because you have to have a focus. You know, you want to have a committed, you're looking towards having that commitment of a relationship in future, even if it takes 5 years, you know, or 3 years, depending on the situation you're in. The purpose majorly is more of recreation and enjoyment. You're not going to meet someone and you're always conversing maybe sad kind of stories. You should be. It is fun. You understand one another. You find out. They are simple things. Their names, where they come from, the siblings, maybe their background, a number of things. Their interests. So you will find that at times when you date someone, you realize that you have even similar interests. You may be interested in football, the other person may be too. Or you may not, but then the other person is. And then maybe with time you will find that they are trying to help you even develop that interest. Like you find that most of the females, some of us, do not pay much attention to like football. Here you are going to be with someone you're dating who all the time will tell you about Messi or many people, the footballers, and you're like all the coaches, and you're like, oh, I hear about those names, but somehow you, with time, as you date, you try to pick some interest slowly. But of course, as you're out there, it should be more of an enjoyment. Like you enjoy the time you're together, you discuss a number of things in terms of those that are developmental. Where do you see yourself maybe in the next maybe 1 year? If you do not have a job, you help each other. How do you get there? How do you make yourself better? There are a number of things that you should look out for, and you need to minimize. These days there is a lot of we are so much attracted to social media. As we date, you're having a date with someone, but all the time you're on your phone. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense you meeting someone and 24/7 you're all on your phone. You should then have stayed back home and you start chatting, and you don't waste the time and for each other to start. So it should be fun with each other and not those gadgets, and unless if you're sharing like a video, a movie or something on the phone. But you find that one party is more on maybe social media, the other one is bored, and then you find that the next time, even when you're invited for an outing, the person will not even bother because they may not tell you that he a boa in the dating period. So it should be fun, really.
So Lillian, picking up from what you've just said, or just adding on, you've said that it's for recreation and enjoyment, but that does not go without warning you that as you are enjoying and recreating, you must be very careful, because not all that the other person or your date is telling you is the right thing. For example, do you know that we have dated men who do not even tell you their right names? They do not tell you their jobs, like they lie to you. They misrepresent, all hold out. They can actually come putting up this appearance like, I work in World Food Program, for example, yeah? So they make you believe that actually they are working there. They lie to you their names, their clans. For us, the Baganda, who know that we must not marry from the same clans.
Or they speak out one name of which you don't know the last name. They say maybe the first name.
And then they even never tell you about their background. Sometimes they are not educated. Do you know that I have my friend who dated a guy, and for her she was looking for this highly educated guy. But surprisingly, because during their discussion, the guy got to know that she's looking for an educated person. The guy misrepresented to my friend as though he had actually graduated. Even took her to a home with a picture of wearing a graduation gown. But of course later it came out that the guy actually had not gone to school up to that level of graduation. So as you're dating and enjoying and looking out at your qualities of this nice guy or lady, please be a little conscious and use your sixth sense. Know that if he's telling me I'm working with World Food Program, ask him more.
What kind of job is that, Are you in management? Are you in administration? Are you in, you need to also ask some of the questions and don't just be a listening host, you know. It is very important.
Be a researcher as well.
Yes, elaborate on the research.
For example, you've gone out, you've met this person, he's fine, he has actually told you one name, I'm John. Yes, you're John. John who? Probably you can find out from either his friends he brings around, or you personally can do your background check, go to social media. People put out, okay, those some information people put out there is not right, but at least you can find something about them.
With time.
Yes.
Yeah, but I
During
think
the
also,
dating process.
I don't think personally I can continue with you if you tell me your one name.
Why not?
Why would I? No. Why would I wait for the other day or even do research to find out your second name? What is it that you're hiding? Can't you tell me both names there and then?
Still,
Because what we are trying,
dating with that one who gives you one name.
that means the
That
person
yes.
is going to give you so much difficult, and you're going to do a lot of research. There is need for transparency, I guess.
I think it all depends on that kind of communication, how you've come up. Because most of us are not really out there, we are not open. Some of us are so reserved that I might not really tell you everything the first time I meet you. I'm going to tell you I'm Ella. It's going to stop at that. Probably you will tell me, can we meet for dinner maybe another day? If you ask me,
The second day you
No.
you now say I'm Ella Mackenzie, yeah.
Yes.
Then I take the two names. Then I wait for the other day.
So
Then
it depends on you, the other
You don't volunteer information.
I personally, some people don't volunteer information.
okay.
I personally, I wouldn't volunteer information. It's not until you
day one.
probe. Yes, it's not until you probe. You ask me, who are you? What's your name? Your clan, your family, your friends. That's when I can open up. But for starters, I'm going to like be quiet if you're quiet. If I really enjoy your company, I'm going to then come out and maybe we shall have fun, and I'll probably tell you what it is that you really want to know about me.
Actually, I think I concur with you, Stella, to some extent, because it's also not very good to throw out your information out
From
there
there,
to
day
the
one.
unsuspecting date that you have, you know. You might throw out all your information where you work, then this malicious guy goes out there and maybe spoils your name or does something just to intimidate you because maybe the thing hasn't worked out. But also, this is why we are here.
Yes.
What we are telling you is that you have to act on a balance, you know. Ask yourself now, is it the right time that by this time I should have known all this, or it is too early? Don't be so fast, you know. Even as you're asking, you meet someone and on the first day, okay, you told me you work in World Food Program, how much do you earn?
Yeah, true.
You know,
Which position do you hold? Really?
you
First
can
time?
become a nagging date, you know. Yeah, so you have to be slow as you start. There are those who are very fast, so know the person.
Naturally.
Even you yourself, sometimes like me, I'm a covert person. I'm not overt. Like, I take long to speak out. So learn that date that you have. Are they overt? Overt are the people who speak. Like, the first time I meet you is like you met me 20 days ago. Yeah. So what else? Why do we date, Stella?
Usually we go out dating there to find the right person, like to settle with in marriage. And that's why the majority of us go out dating, because you've reached this age, you feel like you really want to settle down. So you're like, let me try the dating bit, whichever way, whether virtual or physical. So we go out there to meet other people, to check whether we have probably the same qualities, whether we shall be able to accommodate the same space we are within, or whether we can start family. So it's basically about finding the right person to commit with.
And I think you do not want to get to a point of getting to the final stages of introducing this person to your parents, and yet you do not know them. And you're being asked questions. Okay, where does the person stay? Who are the parents? You know, and you do not know. I think what you're saying is really right. That with the dating aspect, that's when we get to kind of find out who this person you're dating or you're with, who the person is, in terms of knowing their background. At least you will not know everything, but at least you know the basic things for sure. That is very, very important.
Then also, to add on to what you've just said, while you enjoy and while you get to know this person, you're also building your confidence. You know, when we leave school, for those who went to school, and then maybe for those ones who have not really gone to school, whichever stage you are at that you think you want now to start looking for that person you intend to stay with, we are shy. Some of us have gone to single-sex schools where we do not interact with the opposite sex at any point in time, be it in holiday, you'll only interact with your brothers if you're a girl, and vice versa. And then you get to a point like you finished school, university, actually it is at university that you start interacting with boys, and you are shy. I'm one of these kind of people. I studied
You were, but you're not
yes,
now.
I was. So, I was in a single-sex school in primary, in secondary, so I only got interaction with boys
In university.
at university, and I was shy to the extent that even going at the faculty, I would go so early before the boys come because they had a place, the pavement where they would sit and then like stare at the girls. So maybe because I was shy, I used to make sure that I do what? I go early. But now, back to my point is that we are shy because of the environment that we have grown up with. When you start socializing with the opposite sex, be it a man, there are also those shy men.
Yes.
They'll start to get that self-confidence. You know, there are those men who cannot face a girl and tell them, I love you.
Yeah, they are there.
So it is through this dating period or process that you can
Build your confidence.
build your confidence and also discover yourself. And you're like, oh, am I fit or I'm still young? There are these mummies, boys and girls. During this period of time, someone might ask you out for something. Okay, come to my home. I want us maybe go out, like on an escapade, like where we go out. And during that process, you're supposed to help out, cook, like camping kind of thing. You know, dates are different, yeah? And then you're very lazy. You cannot do anything. Of course, during that time, they're trying to study you. What are your mannerisms, those bad habits? Do you have the bad habits? Then you also help to improve during this dating process. Your other partner might tell you, rather, the date might tell you, you see, I don't like girls who eat while putting their forks up. And you didn't know that you have that bad habit.
Yeah.
And
Social skills.
yes. So, I mean, it's fun. You learn. But it is not a smooth process. Even during the learning process, you can get offended. Like if a guy tells you, I don't like the way you chew.
You can.
Yeah. So you will build your confidence as you do what you date. But also I must warn you that there are those people who keep inside the loners. You know, there are these guys who are like, let me pray to God. They don't go to church. They do not socialize. They're like to themselves, go to work, come back home and sit there. So you will end up being lonely and you will not find that right person because the person is not going to find you in your room sitting. So that is why you have to go out and really find that person. We are not saying that be all over like a bird, yeah? You're at every function like soda, but try to also locate yourself or place yourself in these ideal places. For example, what kind of man are you looking for? If you want a Christian girl, are you going to go to the disco? So you will get her there, then you start dating. You might even date at church. You meet like on Sundays, then you talk about your Christian life and aspects. Then from there you build up.
Yeah, when you I wanted to add something on social confidence and behaviors. Like when we grow up, there are certain things that we may not really attach in terms of maybe the advantages or the importance of having certain things. It's not until when you interact with the opposite sex that you get meaning out of it. like the case you mentioned, being that you were able to be in single-sex schools, and now here you are, you're dating someone. There are certain things that initially in the start you will even fear to move with the guy. You know, if you're walking, you find yourself you're either faster than the person or you're behind. And even when you have an appointment, at times you may take things for granted. You just put on whatever you have and you go. Even when you have pricked ears, you'll be like, I don't have to put on earrings or necklaces. This one I'm also talking from my experience. I did not know that some of these things, the opposite sex looks out for them. There are those maybe males that look at particular things, maybe because they grew up seeing either their sisters or their mothers having maybe an earring, having a handbag, having some makeup. You find someone who will tell you, how come you... They'll present it in a polite way, why you don't put on earrings? You're like, I forgot them. You'll be okay. If the person is patient, they'll understand. Then at times they may encourage you, maybe, or they'll buy you one or two, pieces of a necklace with earrings, or they'll look at the nail varnish. They are trying to groom you into what they really want to see. But at times, at times we some of us, the girls, we tend to ignore some of those things.
We don't pay attention.
Yeah, you don't pay attention, and yet it is what the other person wants to see. Holding handbags. I was the type that, as long as I put on my jeans, whatever, and I have my pockets, my money, and the phone small, I just walk. Even earrings, rarely, once in a while. But when you tend to date someone, where's your handbag? And they're like, so they'll not tell you, but somehow you're like, then maybe I'm not lady enough. I'm not presentable. So you try to work on some of those things. It is really, really very important, and it helps to also boost our social confidence. Also in terms of how we communicate. You get someone, of course most of us tend to get people that are slightly older than us when we are dating. You learn from the opposite sex on how they are asking questions, how they are presenting certain things, and maybe they may help you even on how to attend or respond to one or two things. For instance, the other person may have had maybe work experience of more than 5 years or even 3 years, and for you here, you're a fresher from university, you even don't have a job, and maybe you've tried to apply here and there, and you find that they will give you some tips on how to maybe apply for a job, how to be prepared for an interview, and depending on even any other thing, if it's a social gathering, how do you dress, how do you appear. So they also help to mold you and help you so that at the end of the day you can become a better person. Even when that kind of dating of such a person who has given you some guidance, even if it doesn't work out, but it will help you in your next dating. So it is really, really very interesting.
But I must warn our viewers in relation to what Lillian has said. Presentation is very important, but do not overdo it. Like there are some girls, I remember when we were at campus, they would dress like they are going for a party every other evening. You see, the guy will also get this impression, she's a student, where does she get this money? Then I had my friend, for her she was this person who holds very expensive phones, shoes, like she puts up this impression she's doing so well. That can be a put off during a date, because the guy has come with his katochi, with his small phones, yeah? You're coming with an iPhone 11, for example. Yeah, okay, they might not care, because like most of these rich guys have their standards. It's not that they can't afford, but you see, as you're building your portfolio with this guy, he will look at all these small things. Why are you overdressing like that? where do you get the money, what is the financial stand of your parents. They'll start investigating, and then they discover you might be a gold digger, and they run away from you.
Other times it may even seem too expensive for them, you know. They fear and think that maybe I may not be able to keep up to her standards or her level, and yet you're trying to struggle, you know. You're even borrowing things, makeup, be yourself, be simple. Of course you'll be able to get to whatever you want, and you also help the other person. If you're a simple person and maybe the other person has money, they'll give you and try to support you in one way or another, and so that you do not have really to strain yourself.
Yes, Stella, do you have anything else that you want to tell us that we will benefit during our dating process?
The other point, we can talk about why we date. We can look at building or developing our personalities. When we date, we usually get to meet people of different personalities, and in most cases we tend to identify ourselves, who we are. These people could probably help you identify who you are. You might be this kind of person who's not that confident, but when you meet this other person who's really confident, who brings out the best in you, you start identifying that, wow, I can do this, I didn't know I could do this. So that is one of the other reasons as to why maybe we should go out and date.
So the end result of dating is usually you want to commit yourself to someone into marriage. Right? The commitment shall result in marriage. So our viewers out there, as you date, don't just date for... There are these people who are just like, I'm just having fun, as we said, you're enjoying. Have a purpose. Like, don't waste your time, because time, the biological clock sometimes is against you. If you keep dating this person for 1 year and it doesn't work out, then you date another person for another year. Meanwhile, you're like now 32. You date another for another year.
You're 45
you know,
now.
somehow time runs out. Get out there, know what you want out of the person you want, what kind of personality you want, and then move on, decide. If you think it's not working out, move out. Go to another date. Date someone who you think actually makes you happy, and then you'll be happy in marriage. I know there are viewers out there who don't date or who did not date. But it is a good process for you to date to learn the other person. Yeah?
Like you mentioned that we need to be focused, you know, marriage, you know. But also, like you mentioned, the time factor is very important. You're not going to date for over 7 years, 5 years. There are people that date even for a few months and everything is perfect, you know. There are a number of things that you look out for. What is it that you want to bring out or to get from the other person that should help you really be able to realize your goal? It is very, very important. And like Daisy mentioned, it does not mean that when you're dating it must work out. It must work out. At times you're trying to see, but of course if you see that A, B, C, D does not work out, then you have to try. And there are certain things actually that we can accommodate, or we can improve on one another. You should have some kind of flexibility, because this person you're meeting, they also have their background, they have their way of life. So you're not going to meet someone and then you think they'll change. Very, very few cases of
They'll
people
change
that
immediately.
change.
They'll
not change even when you're married. There are certain things, some of the characters or the things they pick, they get from depending on the environment in which they are at. So you date simply and do not think that you're going to change someone. That's why it is important to be yourself. If you're interested in clubbing, say it. I like music. I like to club.
Don't pretend.
Don't pretend. If you're eating your food, you're going out, don't pretend to have only 2 chips.
And then
someone is spending their money on you. You know, here in Africa, it's the guys usually, though of course at times it has changed that you kind of cost share. But when someone you're out, if you don't want to eat, say I need just juice. You don't have to ask for expensive things and yet you're going to leave them here, you know. And even you can, and making things worse, you cannot even pack them. You know, you give someone carry, at least I'll park maybe wherever I'm going, so that whenever you meet someone, for you, I should call it maybe a spoiler, or the other person also, it hurts. They may not really tell you, but it is very important to. I was saying that why we really date is that as we learn one another, we need to be realistic, you know, and we should not really pretend. You instead of you know, whatever drinks, maybe someone asks you, do you take this? You shouldn't pretend that I take wine yet you don't, or even you've never. Even using some of the cutlery, you know, at times if you don't know, just say, may I need to be assisted on this, you know, or use a serviette, so that the other person really understands it. It's very important to be transparent.
To avoid the embarrassment.
To avoid the embarrassment and being really wasteful. If you're hungry, say it, be hungry, eat all the food. It does no harm to really complete. Me, I don't remember leaving any food on any plate. I would consume everything. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, ladies. I really love your openness. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Give us a thumbs up. We welcome all your comments. As we go on with our topic now, we shall move to the other question. When does someone start dating? Each one of you is going to tell us when they started dating.
Oh, we can start with Stella maybe.
When can someone start dating? To me, I think you should be like at campus, that could be above 20 on my side. Because at least when you're in your 20s, you are free a bit because you're done with high school. And here you are at campus, you're a bit independent compared to when you're below. But that is dependent on an individual.
So when did you start dating?
I think it was campus. It was campus, but not serious. The serious dating was when I started working.
Okay.
Yes.
Lillian, we want to hear from you. When should someone start dating and when did you start dating?
Oh, like we mentioned, when should someone start dating? Of course, our laws state that by the fact that if someone is 18 years and above, that's when they are adults. It depends on family, religion. There are those that start much earlier, 15, 18, whatever. But I would say that starting to date is very important if you really understand what you're going in for. What is it that you're looking out for there in dating? Chicho talina chicho oyagala okufunamu, you know? Is dating really important to me? Of course, when we are in school, high school, personally, I was one of the people that would discourage even having a boyfriend in secondary school. I remember there is some girl, if she ever watches this video, she can testify that I really discouraged, and I did something which I cannot even say, and she did not. She stopped. That business of telling me boyfriend, personally, it wouldn't work out for me. I think because of the background where I came from and my parents, to me, I never used really to take it so serious. Even when I got to university, I had a purpose. I had to ensure that I complete because I went to. And I realized whatever, something that I would engage in that would kind of interfere with my studies, I would not tolerate. That is on my side. So, but different people have different experiences. You've seen those that have started earlier and they are successful. Even immediately after university, they have a baby, they have a family, they have everything. Then for us who even delayed, you're like, maybe I, there is a problem with myself, so it depends. Personally, I would say I started dating after my university, and I think that was like even after I completed, I think after even a year from the time I completed my university, because as soon as I completed, I had this stress and struggle of looking for a job. I did not want to go into something when I do not have anything, Going for a date required that at least you can afford some of the things. Like when someone invites you for a date, you are not going to call them, I need some transport, Or even when you go somewhere and you've not been able to afford a drink, you cannot afford it yourself when you need it. Personally, that was my my way of doing things. I think I was not so much of a dependent person or date. So I was, I think I was more into the independence kind of it. So personally, I think that is my own theory. I think it is important for someone to date at whatever age. It doesn't matter, as long as they understand why they are in for it and they have a focus, so that at the end of the day they are able to realize their goal. Whether you're 18, 15, you're even, I don't know, you're 20, it is very, very important to understand what you're going into.
So on my side, I think it depends on when you feel you are ready. But more so, I would advise that our viewers out there, whether you're male or female, it is very good when you have developed your mind that now I'm ready to settle for the consequences of these dates, because it's not always a straight line. It's not smooth. Sometimes you get disappointments. So the time you really feel that now I'm ready for this challenge, because dating is a challenge. You don't know, it's just like going to an unknown place. You do not know what you're going to find there. So that is what dating is like. And therefore, I will not give you a particular time. Some people start dating when they are like in their 40s, others date when they are very young, and it works out. So you look into yourself, our viewers out there, and determine, am I ready? Is it the right time? Of course, I'm speaking about adults above 18, not below, because it is illegal here in Uganda. If you get involved in those kinds of things, you might get yourself and parents in trouble. Now, for me on my side, oh my God, I don't want to share my experience, but you see, we have had different experiences. And what I call a real date, of course, there are those ones like, it's this friendship, girl-boy relationship, and there was no dating. But the real dating that I remember, I hope my husband doesn't watch this, I dated like 3 guys. I know they might watch or not watch, but we are all over now.
You're sharing with
different
viewers, sisters,
so,
empowerment.
I started the date, of course I was, I must say that I was very ignorant about this whole
Naive.
thing. Yes, naive. I was, as I told you, I came from a boarding school, went to campus, was very shy. I used to see people going out, but anyway, I also tried it out, it didn't work out. I'll not give you my experiences at the dates, but I must warn you and say that there are those guys also who are mean. They'll take you for this date, like you see you're going to school, they tell you, but come here. They'll not even give you transportation to go back. And then you've wasted your little pocket money, and then you go.
And you're not even some car.
Nothing, Then there are those ones who want to meet you on the first date and sleep with you that very night. So you must be on the lookout. What are you looking for? Where are you going? Are you safe? Have you informed people? Don't just go while hiding. Like, girls, when you're sleeping, for example, yes, in the hostels, they'll go to unknown places, and we've had girls who have been abducted, we've had those ones who have been raped, and they had different problems. And these are resulting from these dates. We have these blind dates. I think you've heard about them, you've watched them on TV. But I personally, actually, I'm glad that I went through all these. Actually, there were not only 3, but the 3 that I remember. I was at campus. I was trying my best to see.
You catch up with the rest.
Yes, I was like, I don't want to leave campus without getting this serious guy. Not knowing that usually you might leave campus and even do not get into marriage. But I'm happy I dated. I had my good experiences where you'd feel so specially loved by this guy, but you eventually fall out for one reason. One of them was very mean. Oh my god. The other one was like not showing me that affection and care.
That fallback position because they are campus
Yes.
doing this course.
Then a lot of things, I'll not say all of them, but I must tell you that it is fun also. I loved the time because sometimes you just have that feeling I'm leaving the room and I'm going to meet this guy. Yeah. So our viewers out there, you can assess yourself and know when should you date. And date has no time limit. Even as adults, you might have gotten into a relationship and you fall out and then you date again. It is fun actually sometimes, but you have to be very careful. So I think as we come towards the last segment of this show, I must remind you that you're still watching the Sisters Empowerment Show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. We welcome all your comments. Our telephone contacts are on the screen running, so please contact us. We love your comments. We take them in good faith. So,
okay, now the two of you are going to share with our viewers. When we start dating, what are our expectations about dating? What is it that you expect? You received a phone call, and there is this special person you've identified. What is it?
I think it's all dependent on an individual. On my side, there are very many things that we really expect, but usually these are based on our needs and wants. Our wants are negotiable, our needs are non-negotiable. So in that case, some expectations have to be negotiated, others do not have to be negotiated. On my side, nga okusinziira ku kyoyagala ng'omuntu kati nga woba oyagala omuntu nga asomyeko ekyo togenda ku kinegotiatingako nti no n'atasomye nja mutwala oba nga kyosazeewo gwe ng'omuntu so olina okumanya kyoyagala nga gwe. So professionalism could be one of those things that you might not negotiate. Someone who's financially able, but of course dependent on the level of financial ability. So there are very many things on my side.
So anyway, what are your expectations as we are dating? What were your expectations? Or what should even the viewers expect?
My expectations were not high, but now if I were supposed to date now, the guy would be doomed. But anyway, some of the expectations I had, I thought that when you start this dating thing, the person you go out with would be the real last person. The person I start with would be the person I'll be engaged with.
Be the alpha and omega.
But of course it didn't work out. So that is usually one of the expectations that maybe this is the guy. So go open-minded and say that, assuming it's not the right person, don't put your whole mind, soul, body there. On your first date. Be open-minded and retain some of this love that you have. In case the guy disappoints me, I haven't given him all. So, but my expectation also is I love someone who loves me. Like at a date, you must show me that actually yes, like, and how do you show that? It is not by taking me to these very expensive places. You know, sometimes they just blind us. You're at campus, you're coming from this school in the village, and then he takes you to this very expensive hotel you've never gone to. You spend a night there. They are blinding you. But you can show me love by even just being courteous. I go to a place, you help me carry my bag, you know, put it there, make me feel special. Baby. Yes. Try to care about me. Don't just like look at me like you're not seeing me. Yeah. So, and also, I love disciplined guys. Respectful. And respectful. Because in as much as these guys have money, now I'm talking as a lady, who wants to be dated or who is going for a date, I don't expect you to splash your money all over me. 1, 2, 3, the dime is there. What money? You're just like showing money is everything. No. I want you to have some courtesy, some respect. And actually, board law, even if you're so rich and what have you, that's why I think I cannot even get these rich guys, because I cannot sustain their nonsense. Sometimes they are always putting their money at the top of everything without love. Yeah. But above all, you must love me. I don't know how you'll show me love, but me, I will tell. Like, this guy actually is loving or is pretending. I have this measure of love in my mind. By what you do, even when I see you, me, I have that sixth sense. When I go for a date or when I go for a meeting, assuming it's not a date, I'll know that this guy is very complicated. His wife must be doomed. Because when you speak to someone, there are those ones who do not have social etiquette. Even the way they speak, they are rude. They do not have these magic words. They cannot say please, sorry, what. They're just like speaking anyhow. So the way you talk sometimes also puts me off at a date. Yeah. So those are some. I expect you to have some social etiquette, some respect, some love, you know, some care.
Honesty.
Yes. And don't actually exaggerate. I'd rather you would even tell me something, even if you have a lot of money, you know, you hear someone speaking on phone, pretending, as a rentals, because the back was sent a maker, you know, they are trying to
show that
off,
they really have
yet
the
in
money.
actual sense, they have nothing. Be real. I expect someone to be real and tell me, okay, if I'm not driving, don't borrow a car and come to me and misrepresent like you. What? I will take you the way you are. Njagaranga bwinti. I'm that kind of person. Yeah.
Then I think also to add on to that, like in the expectations, whether we are males or females, it is very important that we are really trustworthy, you know. When and even you're up to your word. When you say you give someone a phone call, like we shall meet on such and such a day, at such and such a time, and at this venue. So it is important that whenever you set those timelines, when your appointments, at least you meet them. When something is not right, it is very, very important that at least we communicate. So the expectation that some of us look out for is it that what you say is what you really do, or you're just saying things without even any plan? Even the dating should have a timeline, because my dear, I come from, you know, I'm being housed by someone. For some of us who would come from our homes, you know, there is a rule in this home whereby at such and such a time you should be at home. So I did not expect anyone to again start to tell me that no, you're with me, you know, you're not going back home. I'll take you anytime, because you need to also respect that kind of, you understand the person from where they are from, and you try to also fit within their timeline, and not to also think that whatever you say or whatever plans you have, it is a must. I should follow suit. If you have your trip, for those that we are working, maybe for the guys that have those is it field trips that come on anytime, and you're dating this person, you also want to move with them, their background, because they need to ask for permission. There is need for having some kind of patience, you know, and not to impose whatever you want to the person you're dating. So in the expectations, it is very important that we also understand the other party, where they are coming from and what they want, because at the end of the day we all have a common goal, and we should not only think that because I'm dating so and so, you're taking them for granted, that they must come even when you want, you know. Also the other party has maybe certain programs or family functions or certain things. It's not that when they say they will not be able to make it at a certain time you need them, then maybe it is over, you know. So there is need to really understand one another, and we have, because at the end of the day we have similar goals, we have ambitions, and also as the two parties, we need to know for how long is this dating going to be like. Of course, you'll not ask someone, for how long are we dating? No. You need to discuss and see, where do you see yourself in the next 2 years, 5 years? You try to ask some of the questions to see whether what you want to achieve you're all thinking in the same direction, and not to start in the first days to start to think, how will our wedding be like? You've not yet even set the foundation, but you're already asking about the, you know, the final bit of it. So as we move along during that dating period, it is just a way of like discovering self, not to think that we should even have expectations. There are some people that think that that even some people that have a theory that even when they are going to do something, even if it's a business, even if it's dating, we should not have any expectations. Yeah, why? Why do they say that? It's because when you set the expectations that I expect John, assuming I expect this person to be taking me to which places in town there, maybe Sheraton, 5-star hotels all the time we date. We should be going there. Because you have that expectation, John will tell you we go to the nearby Kafunda bar, those bars like, yeah, when certain villages. Because you have that expectation, you get disappointed. You get the point? So at times it is not, but it is you to know what is it that you want. Don't expect from the other person because you do not know them. But what is it that you want to find from this person that will keep, you'll discover yourself to see whether you can really be able to meet each other. That's why when maybe certain relationships, when people break up, you find that someone wants to kill themselves. Someone says it's over, I'll never get any other person. They start to cling. They're even saying, me, I don't care, I'll even be the 5th wife. You know, it's because you're seeing this person as God. There is a way you're looking at them. You know, you're looking at that and you're not opening up your mind to certain things. So having expectations when dating is good, but let them be under your control, you yourself, not from the other party. There are those common things of like time, those are okay. But about someone that are expecting to buy Nyakra during dating, you will get disappointed. And you will date I don't know how many people. And you will never get what you want.
But I think all in all,
yeah,
our expectations have to be communicated by both parties. You've gone out to date, find out from the other party, what do they expect from you? And you yourself, what do you expect from them? Because in most cases, what I've realized in my personal experience when it comes to dating, usually we don't communicate. We don't tell the other person what we expect. We assume in our minds, I expect to have a successful relationship with this gentleman, and probably it has to go to level of marriage, and yet to his side, he's just having fun with you. So it's important on both sides to communicate to each other. Find out at a certain level, like for instance, if it's been a year or less than a year, you can find out from the other party, why are we dating? What do we expect from this dating? So that you can know at what level this is going to take, and it will help you not waste a lot of time with this person who's not really serious with you. Because at the end of the day, you get disappointed and you feel like you really wouldn't want to date again. And yet probably it was because of your non-communication or your failure to communicate amongst yourselves. Yeah.
So also I think in line with what you have said, the expectations we set need to be known by the other person, because as you communicate, you might find someone telling you, you see, I'm not yet ready for marriage. The person puts it very clear to you,
and you ignore it.
that I'm just still, actually, let me say
I
it
have
in
things to
Luganda.
accomplish.
There is a guy who told the girl, Nzencha parkinzi, parking deko wano. You know what it means?
Yeah.
Like they are just still there in idling mode. That is an indicator already that the person is not ready for marriage. So why are you going on with the date?
So if you yourself, your expectation is for a successful relationship leading to marriage, that's the time you're supposed to pull out. Otherwise, if you stay in, you're the same person going to
cry,
whose time is going to be wasted, and you get heartbroken at the end of the day and start blaming him. And yet the person said, I've packed.
Because that's why. That's why I say it is good actually to know what each person really wants.
Expects out of the dating.
other. And when even the way we bring it out matters. At times you will not be direct to say, what do we expect, like and someone to tell you maybe next year I'm going to get married to you. They may tell you I'm going to get married, but not to you. You get the point.
They might tell you that I'm looking for a serious person. I want to settle.
By the time they say that I'm looking for a serious person to settle,
and you're there, you're dating,
implying that you're not the serious one.
At times, first of all, for you may be dating this person, but you don't know the other person, that they may be dating other three people. Yes. And for you, you're sticking to this person, so the other person has broadened their gap. They have like 5 or 4 people they are dating. Today they are meeting you at from 9 maybe to midday or 1 o'clock, for you have to go back home. You know, the other person, they'll find time from 4 to even 10. You know, so it depends. Even when they tell you this, it's not even also obvious that it will work out. At times you may ask, at times you may not, but the actions alone will tend to show you that okay, maybe there is something. But it also depends when you meet. What is it that you discuss? You know, are you meeting in the lodge all the time and you're calling it dating? You know, are you meeting on parties and those in club? And you don't have the time for the two of you. You see, I think it also depends on what is it that we call dating, you know. Is it that when we meet the two of us and no matter where we are, is it that we are dating? Or this person is the person who is calling me a friend, or in terms of I'm the social person, nayagala laganti, ainayo naye partner. Oba omuntu gwa tambula naye to show others. So it is important that we really understand what is it that we are calling dating.
Okay. Having said all that now, I want us to come to that part where we have to tell our viewers what are those things that you have to remember as you go out for a date. In other words, what rules must you know for you to go out? Yes. Stella, we are starting with you. Caution.
The rules you should know, you have to go out date, yes, but then don't put in your wall. As in, yes, go out there, but preserve certain things for yourself. For example, yes, you're going out there, you think everything is going to move smoothly, but expect some hurdles within the dating process, because not everything you expect as you it's not what you expect, the same thing the other person is expecting. So you should expect some hurdles and be ready to find ways of maneuvering through the hurdles.
I guess once you're dating, you have to take this as the way you open a book. It's a new chapter. You forget all about the other pages, you know. You don't bring out information like Daisy mentioned. She was able to date 3, 4, and many of us we've not dated one person. Once you date this person, forget all about. Don't start to refer. I used to go to Sheraton. Now we are here. You know, for you, you're not. You can't even buy me this. You know. So we should take this as a new chapter, forget the past, and take this as something new that you also have to work on, and be able to identify what is it that you're looking out for in this person. But most of all, I guess that it is important that you really understand the person you're with. You may be dating someone who is already married. There are many men out there that are married, but they do not have their rings on their hands. They will not show. You know, you will not even know, even in the conversation, they will not even mention about their wives, they will not mention about their children. But here you are, depending on how you probe, how you really take your conversation, because there is a tendency of most girls that tend to ignore some of those things. There are even those men that will tell you, or ladies that will tell some men that they date. They'll tell you, I have a child, 1 or 2, and you'll be like, you not really look out. Now that is also like a red flag, you know. If you try to look out for those pointers, you should carry your brain along with you, you know.
With your heart.
And your heart. When someone mentions, I have my girl called whatever name, and maybe this so and so, you know, there are those common names that, like, for some men, they cannot live without talking about their women's names, like their wives. Daisy, you know, once in a while the name Daisy comes in the conversation and slips in, or the daughter, you know,
They call
Desire, you know.
Instead of calling you your name, they call you
the other part. Yes. And for you just ignore some of those things. So it is important that even as you go along, you tend to be so keen with whatever conversation you're discussing. Let it be education background, let it be a family related issue. Of course, you will not just bring it out there and then. You will just mark it once in a while. Later, even when they've forgotten, you try. There is someone called Daisy sometime. Do you know someone? You know, somehow you tend, and somehow things will kind of unfold. So that you know that as you move, there is this pothole. But then again, you have to leave and move to the straight path so that it is cleared, and you do not have to be annoyed and angry, so that you realize that you're with the right person, you have the same purpose. So it is really very important to keep certain things, whatever we discuss, so that you keep in mind and don't really forget whatever is
Be
being
vigilant
discussed.
during the
Yes.
conversations.
Okay, me on my side, I'm going to bring 2 issues in one. One, as you go to date, be mindful of the other person by not carrying all your friends and all your problems to the person you're dating. While I was at campus, of course, I had not gotten into the dating process. I would see some girls who would be picked by men, and you'd see like they collect all their friends. Like there were these specific 4 girls who, I think the guy was dating one of them, so they would all go. Every evening, you would see the car parking, and they were all entering into the car. You know the repercussions and the results. Of course, sometimes they may throw you out because of your bad habits. That is 1. 2, you're financially impacting on that guy's
Budget, you know.
Yes. And then 3, sometimes it becomes like an inconvenience to the other person. You have to talk about those private issues, matters about yourselves. You have to. Now, how will the guy ask you about yourself? You asking him about himself, and everyone is getting to know.
Listening.
You need that time for yourselves. So girls, this is a habit for girls, where if I'm going to see this guy for a date, you tell your friends, let's dress, and we all go. That's why men leave you in those
They even
hotels.
get these same people that you've come along with,
Your
and they
friends.
take on the relationship.
And then, of course, you now start
Or you
lamenting.
even bringing, you're giving him alternatives.
Yeah.
Because you're not only alone, but you bring these other girls. Probably they are more beautiful than you are.
Even you, yeah.
So,
And also, don't lose yourself in the sense that don't say it all, give it in all. Get all your information, put it in that guy, and then he's like, oh, this guy is like this, their parents are like this, you know,
They
he
are
knows
so
you inside out. And then as a result, you have nothing to reserve for yourself. Then he's like, what else don't I know about this one? So these are the guys who now go to social media sometimes and even badmouth you when things fail, and then you feel so frustrated. But also, as you speak out or go for these dates, you have to be extra careful. Don't lose yourself in that. The guy has taken you out today. You don't even carry any money on yourself. You think that he's going to carry all your burdens. You have your sister who is at campus, or brother, your mother is sick in hospital, and then you're bugging the guy. You've just seen him. He has not even made any commitments. My mother is sick, then you put that money. My sister is going to school, no school fees. I'm renting. You know, okay, you might do that and you succeed like some slayers and gold diggers are doing, but it will not work out for all of you. So if you think that this guy or your so-called date, even men are doing it these days, when they see that the lady has money, they'll start to bring up their problems and yeah. So don't lose yourself. Have that sixth sense and know, where am I going with this person? Am I after money? Am I serious? So that is, now we are going back to the purpose, because you might be dating and you just want money out of it. But if you're that serious person, have that focus and say, now I want us to do this. Is this guy talking about development? He's talking about building a house. Then you're like, I saw this very nice dress and we have this party and the dress is 500,000. Yeah.
Even when you're dating, I think it should not be something that you have to feel that it must work out. And even while you're there, you should be able to be, like you said, to be yourself. Your respect still stands. Even when at the end of the day, when things do not work out, there will be a positive something that someone will remember about you. Instead of having the negative side, like whereby, especially those that have very high temper, that someone will invite you for a date and you meet at a certain point, but you'll find them with the opposite sex. So in reaction, you'll just beat up everyone, everything. So what we mean and by that is that be yourself, have your self-respect, and be firm to whatever you are. Because even if it doesn't work out and you meet at a certain point in time, because this world, the next time the person may be your supervisor or your boss, or you may meet at the interview, and the way you reacted, even when there are other people maybe at the interview panel and you did your best, somehow whatever you have, you will still stay even when you go somewhere else. So it is very, very important that we do not have to lose the self. That is very important. Of course, also what we expect in the beginning, most of us become nervous. You fear, even you start to shake. Whatever you at the end of the day, depending on where you're going, because of the nervousness, you end up even making more mistakes. You're trying to walk in a high heels shoes simply because you're meeting someone, but because of the panic, the nervousness, and maybe the handbag, somehow it may fall and even hit the glasses and the plates and even fall down. So it is very, very important that we prepare ourselves and be simple, because at the end of the day, you have to look at what is it that you're looking out for and what is it that you want to achieve, and you retain your personality, your self-respect, and the characteristics that you have in you. Thank you.
So we should also, during dating, the other rule, you should maintain a positive attitude, because you've come into that dating, you're meeting a variety of people you don't know, but your aim is probably having a successful relationship. So we should always be positive. Things should work out. So you should have the positive mind. Don't always be negative because of probably your past experience. If things don't work out, yes, take heart and move on. As long as you have a positive attitude.
Me, I'll talk about communication. One thing you must know as you're dating, I'm not saying that tell everyone. Tell your parents what, you see, I met this guy, what. But at least every time you go out with someone, it is a security measure that you take for your life. They might take you to an unknown place or to a new place or far place where you cannot seek for any assistance. Learn to communicate as you move or as you go for these dates. At least tell your friend that I'm going out to Ginger with this guy.
Their contact.
This is their contact. Those are the friends now we talked about, those reliable friends. So in case anything happens and they cannot trace you, at least they have a starting point. But there is a tendency for most girls and boys, men and women, to start dating and they go to an unknown place, like they can go to a national park. No one knows about where they have gone. Sometimes they get involved, for example, in accidents. Other times they are murdered. We've heard of stories where spouses murder or boyfriends and girlfriends murder, and the bodies are discovered long after, and no one even has an idea of a starting point. So as we do the dating, let's communicate to the people around us, not everyone. Let them know who you're dating. Sometimes those are the people who are going to point out to you the red flags. That guy has dated 100 girls, and every girl she dates, they rape them, or they do this. So sometimes they'll show you these red flags as you communicate. But also as we date, while at our dating venues, we have to be very careful with the social media. So this portfolio somewhere, you have this good profile. Maybe you're a leader in your church, for example. Stella is a very active leader in her church. And then you get this guy who's like, okay, I must do something to this girl that she will not even come back to this church for whatever reason. Then they take pictures of you in funny postures and funny, and then the next thing you know, sometimes you might even be dating another guy. They are splashing your pictures. Sometimes they use them against you. So as you're busy enjoying and feeling that, oh, I've gotten this Mr. Right, taking pictures in those funny, I don't want to talk about like you're nude, for example, and then he's taking your pictures, you think he loves you. He's going to use this as evidence against you. Spread it around. So all these pictures we've seen, like about celebrities and
corporate people.
Yes, these are relationships or dates gone sour, and the person is using it against you to pull you down. So make sure that you're not a victim of stalking. Someone is not even using your pictures for pornography, but it was resulting from what? From this dating process.
You are watching the Sisters Empowerment Show. Remember to subscribe, like, share, comment. Give us a thumbs up. We shall be really very, very grateful. Yeah, as I think we come to the conclusion of dating as our topic. Of course, some of the issues on the dating rules, we've kind of touched them. What is it that we have left out there for our viewers that they need to take care of, to be specific?
Date at your own pace. If you really feel this is time for you to date, because like we said from the very start, that dating, you go and decide to go out and date, meet these other people, you already know what you really want, you as an individual. So you should date at your own pace. Do whatever it is that you want to do at your own pace. Let no one or this other date mate try to push you into what you don't want. So do whatever you have to do at your own pace.
Amazing.
To me, I'll just conclude by saying that it takes time to learn each other, and therefore you have to be patient. But you must ensure that you are safe, because this unsuspecting personality you're meeting as your date might have different intentions. So make sure that you're staying safe every time you are going for these dates.
Of course, when we look towards maybe getting to committed relationships and marriage, they will not really find you in your house, in your crib, whatever you call it, or in your village. You need to get out there, move out, so that you're identified by someone who is, of course there is also someone out there who is looking for someone like you. So you need to avail yourself in a presentable way and be yourself. You don't have to be very, very excited because even you've met someone. Be yourself, be presentable, be smart, and all the characteristics you've mentioned about being, how to find a friend. Portray all those things and ensure that you avail yourself. If you do not avail yourself, definitely there is no way you can start to get to the point of dating someone, because you would not be able to even identify that specific person or personalities in life.
So you've been watching the Sisters Empowerment Show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. I would like to thank you all, my dear sisters, for you have actually educated someone out there. And I know that each of you out there is going to get one point from this presentation. And that
They
the
can
views
contact
expressed
us,
on this
actually.
point, I mean, in this program, are our personal views. But you must remember that we are married people now. We are telling you from experiences, of course, apart from Stella, but she has also had the experience. So these are our personal views, and you are welcome to actually contact us, to invite us, maybe to talk to your children, to schools, to any kind of congregation about these different topics.
We actually also have experience in talking to people that really want to get married, those that are already married, those that are dating. What advice is it that they really need to hear on some of the tips in order to have successful relationships? So you can put in a comment, you can contact us, our numbers are running, to give you some tips on how to get there. I know you can. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.